should be interested in honoring God with your wealth. Should be interested in developing your faith and trust in God. Now, you see, there is a lot that needs to be talked about when you say you are trying to demystify wealth and riches. When you say you are trying to demystify God and wealth, the world we live in today is being controlled by custodians of power. So when you say custodians of power, you're talking about the guys that have political power. When you talk about custodians of power, you are talking about the guys that enjoy spiritual power. Now, the cycle of life or human life is dominated by the pursuit of happiness. So when I say human life is dominated by the pursuit of happiness, I'm trying to say the reason why a man wakes up in the morning and he's running to a place of work, the reason why you do a 9 to 5 is because all through your life you are interested in pursuing happiness. So what does that tell you? It gives you an idea that money and finances are relevant to that chase. So somebody wakes up in the morning, is heading for a store, a shop. Somebody wakes up in the morning, is trying to get to an office. Somebody wakes up in the morning, is trying to hustle. Why? It's because he's interested in pursuing happiness. And to get happy or to be happy, he needs money. You know, most people get these things misconstrued. The pursuit of happiness is linked to money, I agree. But you cannot find true happiness via money. Money cannot give you true happiness. Because happiness and joy is linked to some levels of satisfaction. There are some people that are rich today, they are billionaires. They tell you that all through our lives, we have been trying to build wealth. All through our lives, we've been trying to acquire properties. All through our lives, we've been trying to make money every month. But the same way we have made this money, that is not exactly how we have become satisfied. The same way we have made money, that is not exactly how we have found joy. So we pursue the money and we get it, but we still want to get more because money does not give you satisfaction. Now, a lot of people that are interested in smiling, they need to understand that money can make you smile. I talked about this before. With your money, you can go for a comedy show. You pay money to get the comedian to make you laugh. You laugh. Money can make you laugh, but money can't give you joy because joy comes with a certain level of satisfaction. There are a lot of things money cannot buy for you. So it gives you an idea that some of the things money cannot do is linked to the understanding or appreciation that God is bigger and larger than life. Money, for instance, cannot make a dead man to rise up again. So if a very wealthy billionaire, if a very rich man has a daughter, and that daughter is sick with heart or lungs or renal diseases, he will be helpless even with his status of being a rich man. His wealth or his riches can be able to afford his daughter medical tourism. So when I talk about medical tourism now, he can get his daughter on a plane and travel to a hospital where he can get the best of medical care. But if that daughter is going to die, there is nothing that will stop that daughter from dying. That's the truth. His money will become useless to him. His wealth will become useless to him because it will not be able to restore the heart. It will not be able to restore the lungs of his child. So you see, even the Bible has made it clear that God cannot make you wealthy. He can only give you the power to become wealthy. So if a human being prays to God and he asks God for cash, say, God, I'm praying. God will say, what is your request this time? Say, I want you to put cash in my wardrobe, plenty of it. God's response will likely be, I did not create money, so I can't give you money directly, but I can give you what is needed to create it. And what's that? Power. God can give you power to become wealthy. God can give you blessings. God can give you gifts. God can give you special abilities. That is if you're a very good friend of God. So you see, you can begin to understand some of these things because they are pretty straightforward. You see, when I use the analogy of social media and print media, I'm just trying to give an understanding or a picture, a mental picture of how I see it in my mind. A rich person is like somebody going through a season of his life. You're in a season of your life. The same thing with a football player. You're in a season of your life. You will not always be in form. You will not always be sought after. The clubs will not always be looking in your direction. As you age, you won't be as fast as you used to be. As you grow old, your form will begin to diminish. So, the wise thing to do is to understand it. See, when the money is coming, when you are becoming rich, get the big picture that it's a season. So you make the best out of it. That's it. That's the secret. It's the same thing with social media. See, people are trending. See, the president of Nigeria is trending. See, there's a news about Buhari. Buhari is trending. Everybody on social media, they're talking about him. So he becomes the rave of the moment. You go on social media, that's all they talk about, Buhari, Buhari, Buhari. He becomes the rave of the moment. Go on social media, they're talking about Joe Biden. He becomes the rave of the moment. He can trend today, he can trend tomorrow, he can trend the next day, he can trend for 1 week. It's a season. That's exactly how riches is. It is seasonal. It will not always be there. So if you understand it, you make the most of it. So if I am somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, if I'm somebody like Lionel Messi, some of these achievements I make and they talk about it on newspapers, I'll be interested in buying those print media, those newspapers. I'll buy it and I'll keep it as an archive, maybe in a library. So when you start to have great grandchildren, you show them. Maybe it's a magazine where you have lots of colors, lots of pictures. You show them. Say, this is daddy. When daddy was young, daddy was talked about all over the world. This is granddaddy. When granddaddy was young, the whole world loved him. They were interested in him because he was unsung. He was informed. The whole world, they were interested in him. So that's the difference. See, a rich man is different from a wealthy man. And the difference is sustainability. Riches are not sustainable because they have the capacity to evaporate into the air. It's seasonal. Today you are rich, tomorrow you're not. But with wealth, it's different. You will always be wealthy because you have built your wealth to a level of sustainability. Even when you die, the wealth is still there. It becomes generational. So that's the difference. So you talk about some of the richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos, uh, the guy in France that is into what you call it, uh, fashion and perfumes. These guys, you can say that they are wealthy. Why? Because they've been able to build financial resources to a certain level such that if they die tomorrow, the world cannot forget them because they have planted seeds and these seeds have grown into trees and these trees have developed into a mighty forest. That's what you call sustainability. That's the truth. For a rich man, he's rich today, tomorrow is not. It's like a social media trend. It's like a football player. You see, there are some football players that trended. People like Amokachi, people like George Finidi, people like Tijani Babangida. These guys, they were so famous when they were on song. They were so famous when they were in form. Today, what are these guys doing? Check them. They're hustling. What are these guys doing? Check them. They are engaging in the pursuit of happiness that is linked to trying to add another zero into their bank accounts. That's all they're interested in doing right now. They're hustling, they're pursuing happiness, and it's linked to trying to add another zero in their bank accounts. That's the point. Because their riches or the money they had was linked to fame. And you can't always be famous forever. No. It's like a trend. It's like a social media trend. Today you are trending. Next tomorrow you are trending. This week you are trending. Next week you are trending. The other week you might not trend. Riches is seasonal. It's like a social media trend. But wealth is not. Wealth is permanent. It is somebody has abundant wealth. It's permanent. Even when he's dead and he's gone, the wealth still stands. So that's the difference. So if you are interested in getting wealth the right way, then you should be interested in a partnership with God. So God says, I partner with him. So he becomes a descendant of Abraham. So the generational wealth Abraham enjoyed that spilled over to his sons, that spilled over to his grandchildren becomes your portion. So God himself partners with the guy. Say, I like him. Great guy. So he's going to be stupidly wealthy. So then you can see, even when you are dead, you are gone. Your name will not be forgotten because you will continue to be wealthy. Your great grandchildren, they would recognize your wealth because you have built a foundation for them. So that when erosion comes, the structure will still stand. When the wind comes, the structure will still stand. So that's the difference. Anybody that is interested in enjoying genuine wealth should be interested in partnering with God. That's it. So if God approves of you, then you will become so wealthy. Nobody will see your back. You move faster than any other person on the racetrack. So it's Sunday. I just give you my words of exaltation. See, anybody that is interested in being wealthy should embrace God Because the Bible says that